So what is up? What is cracking, collective? All right, so today I'm gonna be talking about all I ever wanted. And in this message, in this story, and in this word, it may not be for you, but I'm gonna talk about maybe some things that I wanted, right? Or how I saw life as the things that I have always ever wanted, or the things that I have always wished that I could ever get, or thought that I wanted, right? At one particular time. Now, if you haven't checked out this video, definitely check out this video, check out this message. It's really dope. But I just wanted to talk about the plot, right? And simply when you think about a plot, you start to think about just different things that have happened in your life, especially when it came to this message. And, you know, I think about Scrooge, right? When we think about Scrooge and how the three ghosts came to visit Scrooge. And, you know, at the end of the day, Scrooge was a rich man, but he was still like bitter in the inside. He was hurt in the inside. He was like, bah, humbugs. Everybody that was happy-go-lucky, you know, because of something that was going on within him in the inside. And, you know, by the end of this message, I, you know, really came to kind of understand the aspect of Scrooge and how you can have everything you ever wanted, but it's still not everything you ever wanted. You know what I'm saying? You can have all the money in the world, but still it's certain things that you can never get that you have always wanted. And it's kind of like some people wish that they had a specific person back in their life and they can't get that specific person back in their life. And that's all they ever wanted, right? And then on the aspect is, you know, maybe we can have it all good. We can have everything we ever wanted, but sometimes it's everything we ever wanted for the moment. And when you think about a moment, it only lasts for a few moments, right? It may last for a couple days, it may last for a couple months, it may last for a couple years, but it always comes to a stop of the things that you ever wanted. Something comes in between and you be like, look, I actually want that, or I thought I wanted that, but I really don't want that. Or after I got that, I noticed that it still doesn't fulfill me. So this message can go for those that have everything they ever wanted, but they may still experience certain things that just doesn't fulfill them. And this can also go for people that, you know, may not have everything they ever wanted, but they can look back in their past, right? Look back in their past, in their childhood. And for those that just can look back in their childhood, imagine, you know what I'm saying, a ghost coming to you, and a ghost is like, you know, let's go back to your past. And you notice as a kid the certain things that you always ever wanted, and you notice your parents, and you notice how your parents did things, or you notice how, you know, your siblings did things, and you noticed how you did things, you noticed how you carried yourself, you noticed how things had happened in school, you noticed the cool kids in school, and you notice the non-cool kids in school, and you just notice things, right? And for some of us, you know, all we ever wanted maybe was like a family, and that's what I was talking about in this message. Like, whatever you want is the different things that you want, but for me, it was like, man, all I ever wanted was a family. I wanted my parents to stop arguing or whatever and come together, right? You know, and it's just certain things that we experienced as children that we always ever wanted, right? And you know, sometimes we wanted to be with the cool kids, but we wasn't a cool kid, and we always acted like, all right, that was cool. But once we grew up, we started to kind of think like, you know, actually that hurt me. Actually, I felt hurt from that. Actually, I kind of felt hurt that I wasn't like a cool kid, right? I wasn't a part of the cool clique, or, you know, I didn't have everything that the other kids have, and, you know, I act like it was all cool, but it did kind of hurt me. And I feel like sometimes we don't deeply think about the things that have hurt us until we are adults. It's kind of like the things that now we have to look in the mirror at as adults. And like, look, man, that just genuinely hurt me, you know? And at the end of the day, when we learn that sometimes, in all honesty, people don't know that they are hurting us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we at school and if we ain't the cool kid, we just gotta honestly just accept, like, we ain't the cool kid. But, you know, everybody has a part to play in life, right? You have a part to play as the cool kid, or you have a part to play as, you know, the non-cool kid, right? So we all have a part to play, right? In this thing called life, you know? And sometimes we just wake up to the certain things as an adult that we realize, like, okay, that played a part on me, right? And sometimes it might just be wanting our parent to be proud of us, or wanting both parents to be proud of us, you know. Sometimes it's just, man, or the teachers to be proud of us, or to just look like, man, I am this student and I am proud of me. And in order to, you know, be called good, I have to be a good student, you know. And sometimes that kind of plays into our life now. You know, people from the outside looking in will see like, oh man, you know, you're very, like, military, like, or just stern, I'm just here, right? And sometimes that comes from how we were when we were a kid. Like, look, I just want to be a good kid. I want, you know, the teacher to understand that I am a good kid. I want the children to understand that I am a good kid. I want to be an example of what it is to be a good kid. I want my father to be proud of me when they say, like, man, your daughter, your son is a good kid. I want to be the example of what a good kid is. So that kind of travels on to you as an adult, you know, to see like, man, this is why I act the way I act or do the things that I do. And sometimes we don't even know it until we grow up and simply just know it. Like, okay, that's why I am the way I am. Right? And some people may say, oh yeah, you're just faking it, right? They'll say like, yeah, you just faking it. You faking like you good. You faking like this. You faking like you that. But when it's all you know, how can you be fake about it? When that's all you know how to act and how to react and how to be, you can't fake that. You are who you are, right? Just like a child that is open and outspoken and doesn't care. That's just who they are. And that's just how they are. That is just them. And they have their reasons for that, right? So we can all, you know, just explain the reasons why we are the way that we are. From just different things that we have been through in life, or different stages and episodes and stages in our life, right? We can always understand that. Also, I was kind of talking about not being weak. So those that I'm talking to sometimes as well is you don't want to look weak. You don't want to cry in front of other people. And maybe that's sometimes you just always got to look mean, right? And from the outside looking in, they may see you as, man, this person is just mean. This person, like, they don't talk to nobody. They just got an attitude. They just mean. Why they mean mugging, right? And maybe they don't know that as a kid, when you go back and when that first ghost just transforms and like your life flashes before your eyes and you go there. And maybe the thing is that you have to be in the experience of somebody else. And that's why it's called movies. The movies are movies simply because so we can put ourselves inside of somebody else. Where we can put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. We can put ourselves inside of somebody else's situation, because we all have a different part in our situations. And that's what I was talking about the other day about history. Like, history never stops. It's something that you can always learn simply about history. History is forever. And when you think about history, history can be just your generation of history. What does your grandma go through? What does your great-grandma go through? What does your great-great-grandma go through? What are the stories of the past? What were their stories? What were their life stories? And it's just simply putting yourself in someone else's shoes and understanding their past. I was going to say, understanding their path. Understanding their path. I mean, understanding the reasons why they are the way that they are, the reasons why they made the decisions, how they made their decisions, the reasons why they went on a journey the way that they went on a journey. The reason why the outcomes happened the way that the outcomes did is because we all have a different path. So we all have a different history. We all have a different movie. And maybe sometimes it's a beautiful thing to just simply become a part of someone else's movie. Or simply just watch somebody else's movie. Understand somebody else's movie. So, you know, when people be like, oh, to those that they be like, oh, you just look so mean. You always mean mugging. You just mean. Maybe as a kid, that kid always had to look mean. Maybe as a kid, in order to not get bullied, they had to look mean. Or look hard and not look weak. And make it look like, you know, everything was all cool. Everything was all gravy, baby. Even though things just wasn't cool. So it was just different things that we be learning as we get older and growing. Right? And I was also talking about how we make up lies. I talked about how I made up a lie about, you know, oh God, I was blind and I couldn't see. Because I just wanted my family to be a family. I wanted my mom to be, you know, with my dad. I wanted my dad to be with my mom. I wanted, you know, the things that I wanted, right? And as a kid, we just sometimes think about the things that we want. And as adults, we think about the things that we want, but, you know, when you gain some type of wisdom, or when you start to gain wisdom, you start to think about others and like, look, I just can't think about myself, about what only myself wants, but it also plays a part with the people that I have around me, the people that I care about. What do they want as well? Or what is good for them? And that's when I was talking about, you know, no matter how hard you try, or the things that you do, or the mistakes that you make, or the lies that you come up with, right, to make something go your way, it will always end up inside of God's way. I'm hearing Yahweh, Yah's way. It will always end up in Yah's way. And that may be y'all's way, inside of y'all's way, inside of your path, inside of y'all's pathway, right? And this thing called life. And yeah. And it's kind of like when you try to make things change for yourself, or make things go inside of your way. It's kind of like traveling back in time, where it has a effect on the future. So if you do this and you change the past, know that it's a ripple effect for the future, which that can be good or that can be bad for the future. So it all has consequences for the things that you want in the future, right? But when things don't go the way that you want them to go, and you have manipulated, and you have lied, and you have tried to make things go in the way that you want to go, and they don't go that way, it shows you that how things are just in harmony, how things are just its own harmony, how things are just its own music, its own music symphonies, how it's just a symphony of your own journey. That's what I was talking about. And I was talking about how it's just a certain time. When you think about a certain time in music, every song has a different time. And it stops at different seconds. And it's just like life, where just people's time in our lives stop at different times and different seconds, where we can't change the time or the seconds, right? When it's just the end of their symphony. Their symphony in your life, their symphony in their life, the symphonies of life. We can't help the symphonies, you know? What's meant to be will always be, even if it's all we ever wanted. Even if it's all we ever wanted. And I was talking about the teenage stage, so we're talking about the second ghost. The second ghost that comes, you know, and you're not a kid anymore, and you're a teenager, and you just want to be this perfect teenager. It's kind of like being a perfect student. That kind of tapped into that as well, you know. And okay, so I'm back. Of course, my phone don't got space. My phone don't got space, so it is what it is. I always gotta clear up space. So I was talking about teenage, right? The second ghost, right? And with the second ghost, it's kind of like, you know, that's when you start to fall in love, right? You know, you be all in love, or you be a little bit in love, but you never fit in love. And when we talk about relationships, of course, relationships can be friendships, or relationships can be just relationships. When you start to notice, like, you know, I'm just trying to do something that maybe everybody else doing. Or maybe I'm just trying to be in this clique because everybody else in this clique. But in all actuality, I don't even fit in this clique. Like, their personalities ain't even my personalities, but I'm just simply in this clique. You know? And maybe, matter of fact, I don't fit in here and I don't fit in there, and I should just be my own clique. But when we are a teenager, we just hop inside of these cliques, right? You know? And as a teenager, I started out playing games because I really never fit in at school, but I was always a gamer. And I started out on this game called IMVU, and I made a clique. Okay? I made a clique. So it was a clique. It was two different cliques, all right, on this game. And there was the Bloods, and then we had the Crips. We called ourselves the Lady Crips. Now, I have never been a Crip a day in my life. And see, this is what I mean, how we try to be something that we not. You know, as a teenager, we all go through those phases where we try to be something that we not. Like, oh yeah, I'm a gangster. But I'm not. I'm not. Baby, we was an internet gangster. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I created a clique. And, we would always just, you know, come in a little gamer room and fight each other and be like, oh, Crip, you a blood, Crip, blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, just different things. We'll fight each other, talk about each other, beat each other up, you know, be like, yeah, I won. Even though I always thought I won. You know what I'm saying? I always thought that my clique won. Okay. But it was fun. You know, it was fun for the moment. And sometimes you notice that when you do create cliques, or when you do get in a clique, you know, you might find just a specific person that will always be a part of you forever from that clique. And that's when I went to another game called, like I said, Second Life, and I was still a teenager then as well. And I created something for teens, a sorority for teens. And like, we never had nowhere to go. We never had nothing to do. We were kind of broke. Like, think about it. When you're a teen, like, you're broke. You don't got money. And this game costed money, okay? So, of course, sometimes we use our mom's cards to play these games. And some people just, you know, took us in as they are adults and we are teens playing this game, and they called us their mom. Like, they called us mom, right? So we had fake family and things like that. But sooner or later, basically, we created this little clique for like people that's homeless, that don't got nowhere to go, that don't make no money, things like that, to always call home, right? And I feel like the best part of what was created, even if, we found out that certain people wasn't really a part of your clique or didn't fit in your clique, or we didn't fit in their clique, the best part about it is somebody always found a friend. Someone always found somebody else that they clicked with. Somebody always found somebody that, like, man, you're kind of like me. Maybe we don't fit, but we fit together. And just thinking about life, right? As a teenager, it will always be somebody that you have with you that you'll be like, man, I'm happy that I joined that. I'm happy that that happened to me. I'm happy that I met this group of people because I met you. And if I didn't meet that group of people, or we didn't both experience that, or we both didn't feel the click, we found each other. We found a friendship that can last forever, right? So that's a beautiful thing. And in this message, I started to talk about, how we look for love in all the wrong places, getting into relationships, thinking that we're going to find a man that's going to love us in all the right places, but end up loving us in all the wrong places, or convincing us that, if you love me, you will let me love you in all the wrong places, right? And we quickly soon find out, like, love is not about loving someone in all the wrong places, but all the right places. All the right places. All the places that make you feel secure. All the places that make you feel whole. All the places that make you feel special. All the places that make you feel special. Yeah. And I was talking about also, like, wanting to fit in, of course. Always wanting to fit in. Always wanting to be with the latest outfits, be with the latest hairstyle, just be everything with the latest. Even if you felt like that wasn't your fit or you didn't fit in. But as you grow up, you start to learn that maybe it was okay to not fit in. And maybe as you grow up, you're like, look, it was actually a empowerment or a gift that I didn't fit in. And see, as teens, we start to gain resentment, or we start to become like resentful, like, man, why I don't have this, why I don't have that, or I see them got this and I don't got that, and I feel bad because I'm not enough for this, I'm not enough for that. I feel bad because I'm not enough for my parents. I feel bad because I'm not enough for my friends. I feel bad because I'm not enough for my clothes, And as the teenage stage happens, you start to think about yourself more, start to look at yourself more, start to feel pressured more. Like, I don't look like these other kids look. I'm not normal. And that's when you start to really notice, like, man, I'm really not normal. Like, they're normal, And, man, it's a beautiful thing to find somebody that loves you abnormally, even if they're normal. And people can say, like, oh my God, what is normal? Right? Normal can be many different things, but maybe to you, you just feel abnormal. Your certain flaws, you just feel abnormal, right? Until you have somebody that's like, look, I love you abnormal. Even if you feel like I'm normal, baby, I love you abnormal. I love you for the things that you see yourself as to be flaws. And I simply love your abnormal. Right. So yeah, as a teen, we might say, why I can't be, why I can't be, why I can't be. And for some reason, like the type of person I am, I'm normally attracted to the friends that are not normal. I'm attracted to the people or the person that's the most quietest in a room. Like if they're quiet, I'm probably gonna like go towards them. Like, yeah, they're quiet. I'm gonna gravitate towards you because you're quiet, you know, rather than being all out in the open. I'm not out in the open. No, I'm like, no, I ain't finna get out in the open, baby. We abnormal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can relate to you because we abnormal. So, yeah. The next thing that I was talking about was being an adult, you know, and noticing that, you know, if you look back at the times when you were a kid, that you knew that, okay, you would never get everything you still ever wanted. It's kind of like when you become an adult and you realize, like, man, okay, like I thought as a kid that it would be better. I thought as a kid I would be better as an adult. And I'm noticing that no, life is not like that. Or maybe I always say, like, look, I'm gonna never do this and I'm gonna never do that and I'll never be like that. And you end up like, man, you know, matter of fact, these are just certain things that I always ever wanted. Right? So, I was also saying, like, life is like a box of chocolates. And, where we have good moments, right? And then, you know, if we randomly pick up another chocolate, that can be a bad moment. We could be all good, like, you know what I'm saying? Got the house, got a car, and all of a sudden, you know, the next day your car taken, your car gone, right? One day you can have just everything and it can be all gone. So that's also kind of like, you know, as you grow, as you realize things, life is not like a box of chocolates, but it is, but it's spiked. It's spiked, you know. And noticing that just some things we will never get, even though it's the things that we want, but we can never have. And sometimes we realize, like, look, man, I don't even want that. It's waking up and realizing, like, look, I don't even want that. Waking up and realizing, like, look, man, you know, maybe the certain things that I had did in my childhood and everything that I wanted in my childhood, or the things that hurt me in my childhood, you know, it molded me to who I am today. But the molds that it has molded me to who I am today makes me think about, like, look, man, that's not all I ever wanted. Well, matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? Those principles are not just principles that I want for myself or maybe for anybody else. So yeah, you start to realize, like, man, the things that I thought would please me and be everything I ever wanted was nothing that I ever really truly wanted. So, last thing, I also said that, you know, that I hope that a lot of people get their heart's desire. I hope that a lot of people get a lot of good chocolates before they get knocked out by a bad chocolate. Because even if you have everything you ever wanted in the moment, like I said in the beginning, things can change at any moment. So be happy that, yo, my life is good. I'm here and welcome to the good life for the moment. Welcome to the good life for the moment. So that is my message. That is my story. That is my word about all I ever wanted, the plot. And I hope y'all check out the message. I'll leave the link down below. Make sure to hit the like button if y'all got some type of value out of this. And I'll be busy back, baby. Peace.